BBC Radio 1.
To be direct, you're 23 years old.
I am.
You've just released the final episode of one of the biggest TV shows in the history of existence, and now you are the title character of a superhero movie. How does that feel?
It feels good. I don't know. It feels nice. I've been very, very lucky. I think I've really lucked out with my career, I guess. But I'm definitely not up to par on where I should be. I don't deserve this, but for some reason they've just put me here. So here I am.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Simon Kinberg said, look, I've got an idea. Would you like to be the lead of the next X-Men movie? All right.
I don't know, Simon, it's going to take a bit of convincing there, buddy.
Must I?
If I must.
We saw a little bit of Jean Grey's powers in Apocalypse, but
Yeah.
in this movie, not to give too much away, you let rip in a way that I was like, it felt a bit like there was a hairdryer on my face as I was watching
Did you
the
watch
film.
it? You've
Yeah,
watched
yeah,
the
yeah.
whole thing? Oh, great.
I've watched the whole thing, and
Oh, wow.
there's a sequence where you essentially unleash hell for about 5 minutes.
I do. It's a lot of fun.
Technical question here. What's going on when you're phoenixing? Are you just doing...
It's literally like I have to wear, because the hair is CGI, so I have to wear a bald cap. And then I have dots all over my face because they have to like track where my skin is gonna crack. And so I'm just kind of stood there looking like an idiot, going like this, with no music and going, wah! You just, you feel like such an idiot, but it's fun. It's really fun. You just have to use your imagination a bit.
James McAvoy has the whole...
He does.
But you can't do that.
No, I can't do that. But I do spend like hours. I did spend hours in the mirror kind of practicing my moves. This is the twist the doorknob. I like that one. That's my favorite. And the others are just kind of like this. Yeah, and then there's like this one and this one. Really good.
That's when people really need to die.
Oh no.
Do you have to do the ADR stuff as well, where afterwards they go, we need breaths and efforts, and
Yeah.
you need to be killing most of the universe here, so go.
Basically, yeah. And you just, I mean, it's terrible when you have to do ADR because most of the time you feel like you're going to faint because it's always breaths and efforts. And it's just like, you just have to sit there panting for 10 minutes. And then you just like, I can't do this anymore. This is not acting.
I feel like this is a bit much. Not to overdo how powerful she is, and you are, obviously, but she's so powerful that in the trailer for this film, you kill Jennifer Lawrence.
Look at me. Focus on my voice. I'm not giving up on you, Jean.
She was my friend.
You're my family, Jean. Stop, no matter what.
Stop.
And even Thanos didn't kill a superhero in the Avengers movies, in the trailer.
Well, I guess Thanos just isn't as powerful as Jean is.
She said it, I didn't.
I'm sorry for what she did.
You do have an amazing cast. I'm
Yes.
lucky enough to interview some of them later.
Who are you interviewing?
McAvoy and Fassbender,
Nice.
Kinberg as well. Are there any embarrassing questions that you'd like to give me to ask them
Oh,
that would catch them out?
I feel like I probably have more for McAvoy than Fassbender. Let me think.
Okay.
Why don't you just ask him why is your neck so thick in this movie?
I've got a thick neck.
It'll really upset him that people have noticed how thick his neck is in this movie.
Have I got a thick neck at the moment?
I don't think it's particularly thick. I mean, I thought it was perhaps thick.
I think it was thick when we were making this.
I find you have thick legs.
He was training for glass, and so his arms are jacked, and he's got this really thick neck that makes him look a bit like a thumb, because he's bald as well, and it was just funny.
They should have named Glass Thumb.
Thumb.
I'll have 4 tickets to...
Thumb Man.
Yep, the superhero no one saw coming.
Yeah.
Obviously, you've got big ensemble casts, have been a part of your life for a long time. How do the atmospheres compare between Game of Thrones on set and an X-Men
It
film?
was very different between Game of Thrones and X-Men Apocalypse because Game of Thrones is a very serious set. There's no room for improvising.
No, wait. You're kidding, right?
You can't improvise.
You didn't, riff off most of your one-liners.
I wish, but you can't really write it, and you don't know what anyone's names are anyway. Really, or if you wanted to riff, you'd be like Egorothan Fartarian. Like, you can't. But with X-Men, well, Apocalypse, it was a lot more like loose. Sorry, I stood on your toe. Well, it's not even your toe. And we didn't really have, well, I didn't really have much material to work with, so I was just I just had a great time. We used to like play dares on set.
You like movies?
Some.
You like
Like-
X-Men?
I love X-Men.
It was so much fun.
Also, you've got Jennifer Lawrence shouting lunch.
Lunch!
All the time.
And
Lunch! She just wants lunch. That girl just wants to eat.
I'm hungry.
The fact is, let's all admit it, we all want lunch all the time.
What about lunch?
She's just the only one saying it.
She's the only one saying it. She's the realest of the real.
I have, and you can cue the cheesy top 5 music if you like.
Ooh.
I've put together my favourite Sansa put-downs.
No way!
Now, these are mine, and I know the internet is a powerful demonic force. I love you guys. and I will have got this wrong, but these are the ones I love the most.
Wow.
So from Battle of the Bastards, you got 2.
Okay.
Now, if you want to save
You're going to die tomorrow, Lord Bolton. Sleep well.
That's a great one.
I want to use that more in real life.
I know you should, but you know, you might get arrested for it or something.
Oh, yeah, quite. There we go. This is a classic.
Your words will disappear. Your house will disappear. Your name will disappear. All memory of you will disappear.
You know, someone said that to me once in a park. They just this fan came up to me and quoted it to me, and I couldn't remember, like, that it was in Game of Thrones, and so I was just like, what? I, like, ran away. I was crying. My friend and I were like, what? This guy is so scary. Imagine someone being like, your house will disappear, your name will disappear. Or said it like that. It was horrible.
What's so creepy about it is that he must have thought before he did it, oh, she's gonna love this.
She's gonna love this.
And you're like,
And I run away crying.
oh my God, it's the thumb. No.
The thumb, Mr. Thumb.
It's getting better. Mr. Thumb.
Mr. Thumb.
Okay, so my number 4 is this.
Why aren't you happy? What do you want that you do not have?
At the moment, peace and quiet. No need to seize the last word, Lord Baelish. I'll assume it was something clever.
Love that one. Forgot about that one.
I mean, underappreciated is what I'd say.
Yeah.
Okay, from early on, episode 6.
Of season 1?
Of season 1.
Oof. Wait, can I guess it?
Oh, please.
Is it, oh wait, I just realised I don't care?
Yes.
Yeah!
Where are you from anyway? The north or the south?
I come from a very small
Oh,
village in a...
wait. I just realised I don't care.
See, again, that's a very usable burn. Like,
It is a very usable burn. Ask someone a question and then say that.
but I think, and this is very nearly my number 1, but my number 2 is...
I stand before you as one of the senior lords in the country. A veteran of 2 wars. And I like to think my experience has led to some small skill in statecraft and an
Uncle. Please sit.
I think it's the uncle, which is, you're embarrassing the big kids.
I know.
Uncle.
I would hate Sansa. I would be like, you hussy.
I think she's great.
I think she's great too, but if like my niece said that to me, I'd be like, sit down.
Oh.
Shut up.
I would look straight at her mum and dad and go,
Be like, out of control.
sort this out.
Yeah, she doesn't have a mum and dad though,
Oh.
does she?
There you
Thanks
go.
for that. Thanks for pointing
Sorry,
that out.
sorry. So, my final one. It is the you stand accused of murder.
Oh,
You stand accused of murder. You stand accused of treason. How do you answer these charges? Lord Baelish.
And I don't want to just say how great you are, but in order to deliver that line, you have to be very, very good. Because I would have, because I'm awful, I've gone, Lord Baelish, and made it entirely too much.
Lord Baelish. Well, I think I did start doing that at the beginning, but they told me to tone it down. You know, it didn't work out
So
so
we can
good.
thank the director for that.
Yes, exactly. It's all in the edit.
But seriously, that whole sequence, I know everyone's been talking about this final season, but I do wonder whether that is my favourite moment.
It's my favourite moment.
Seeing him get what he deserves.
So satisfying after all those years.
What a total word I can't say.
Yeah.
Looking back on Game of Thrones, not to go on about it too much, aside from those ones I've mentioned, have there been favourite scenes that you're willing to rewatch yourself? Because I personally find watching myself kind of nightmarish.
Yeah, me too.
Are there ones where you go, you know what? I'm okay with this.
No. I truly hate watching myself so much. I haven't seen Game of Thrones since like season 3.
Well, I can tell you it's pretty good. You should check it out.
Well, you know what? I watched like two episodes of this season to kind of see what all the fuss was about. And I really enjoyed it, but like it just ruins it for me watching myself. I think it's just because like it just ruins the whole cinematic experience for me, and so does my acting.
I would like to ask you about your friendship with Jessica Chastain. I think she's kind of winning social media right now.
She is.
Are we allowed to touch the horse? We don't want to do anything to get you upset. I'm not. That horse just bit my boob. Literally just bit my boob. All right, I'm not petting you.
You do a lot of scenes with her, and I'm imagining again you've got all the bald and the whatever.
Yeah.
Were there moments where you thought to yourself, "Is this really happening? Like, this
Yeah,
is too
of course.
surreal."
Of course, like you're stood there like dangling on wires for like half an hour with dots all over your face and a bald cap, and you're thinking, "This is glamour.
This is glamour.
This is Hollywood glamour."
There's Michael Fassbender. I'm caving his face in with my fingers. James McAvoy's downstairs.
Yeah.
Whatever. This is a Tuesday.
So it's pretty cool to like be in the presence of all these like amazing actors, but at the same time you do feel like a bit of a douchebag aesthetically, and you know, being held up by your crotch. It's just, you don't feel great in yourself.
When you watch the final film, you go, "I'm flying, that's incredible." But you're thinking...
I'm thinking, I'm going to be infertile after this. If I stay one more minute up here, it's not going to be good for me.
And then you shout the word lunch, and you get lunch.
No, that only happens when Jen shouts lunch.
Lunch!
What is the best bit of direction you've got, either in the X-Men movies or Game of Thrones or whatever, where you've gone, "I'm not forgetting that"?
Oof, best bit. Well, we had this director once in, I think it was like season 2 or season 3. He was this fantastic director called Alec Sakharov. It wasn't a specific piece of advice, but every time that you were in an emotional scene, right before they were about to say action, he would run up to you and he would get in your ear and he'd be like, "Remember, your father has died, your mother has died, everyone has died. You're married to a man who likes to abuse you." And then he'd be like, "Oh." And you'd just be like laughing and crying all at once. Be like, "What was that?" But it worked, I guess.
What's really weird is he did it during X-Men Dark Phoenix, and it's like, it's not helping me.
I know, it's not helping me. Alec, you need to stop following me around and whispering these things in my ear.
Is there any advice you'd like to give your younger self before all of this took off?
Wow.
That would really help.
I would give myself a few pieces of advice. The first would be document everything, because like you're about to experience something really special and you're not going to remember much of it because you were so young. So try and take as many pictures as possible and try and live in the moment, because it will be over like that. My other piece of advice would be don't take yourself too seriously too young, because I think I definitely, you know, when you're 13 and you go into like a very adult environment, people treat you like an adult and you're working kind of adult hours from 16, and so you take yourself far too seriously and you don't have as much fun as you should be.
Sure.
My third piece of advice would be stay off social media until you're 18.
I really agree with that.
Yeah.
But I'll say one last thing on it. I'm very grateful that Vine exists, because your videos with Maisie...
Maisie claims she knows the lyrics to Wrecking Ball. We clawed, we chained our hearts in vain, we jumped, never asking why.
That's why I should stay off social media until I'm 18. It's so embarrassing.
Opposite of that. Opposite of embarrassing. Excellent.
Thank you, but really, truly awful. Embarrassing.
That's the kind of note I like to end my interviews on.
Thanks. Just embarrassed.
Embarrassed and awful. That's the vibe we were going for today. Sophie, thank you.
Thank
it's been a
you.
real pleasure. Thanks for watching. If you like that, then do watch these videos, or you can listen to my podcast called Radio 1 Screen Time. Oh, and do not forget to hit that subscribe button. You can now get more Radio 1 in your life by downloading the BBC Sounds app or the BBC iPlayer app. Search for full-length versions of these interviews by typing in Movies with Ali Plumb.